Well, hello to everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Let me first thank everyone at the community of AWE for the chance to present to all of you. I hope that we can go into a little bit more detail about something that's very close to my heart, which is the out-of-home entertainment sector and a lot of the technology that's defining it. So let me power up the presentation and jump straight into it. I'm going to try and touch on some interesting aspects of out-of-home entertainment. I'm going to try and look at the trends that are shaping the sector. A lot of the technology that you will be familiar with from the AR and VR and MR sectors we will touch upon, and also look a little bit more towards the future. One of the things you must understand about the out-of-home entertainment sector is that a lot of the things that we develop here eventually migrate, as with all things from the enterprise sector, into the consumer sector. But first, let's bore you with a little bit of information about who I am. I specialize in the out-of-home entertainment sector, and I'm lucky enough to be the co-founder of Spider Entertainment, which is a company dedicated not just in working with developers and operators in the out-of-home international sector, but we also are developing our own facilities, and I look forward to being able to give a little bit more detail of some of the great things that we're working on. I'm also, for my sins, the publisher of the Stinger Report, a scurrilous news service that goes into the details of much of the technology trends and applications that are in the amusement, the attractions, and the out-of-home entertainment sector in general. Spider Entertainment, as I said, is working on developing our own facilities, but also we like to work with companies that are developing their own products, operating their own facilities, or are investing in this sector. And the out-of-home entertainment industry is one of those sectors of the entertainment market that needs a little bit more loving regarding its applications and opportunities on the worldwide market. But let me jump in a little bit to the depths of our sector. Immersive entertainment is a fundamental of the out-of-home entertainment. We can trace the roots back from the stereograph viewers, what the butlers saw, to the applications of Sensorama in the 60s, the first applications of 3D digital amusement in the 80s, and then in the 90s, the first grasp, the first flush, as it were, of virtual reality application. Immersive entertainment is the ability for an individual to escape into an immersive environment, utilizing a pay-to-play metrics. It's the same technology that governs the arcade machine all the way up to the theme park experience. And I have been charting over the last few years the current trends, the phases of development that have been shaping the market. It is important to understand that with the application of the first video amusement, we opened the door on the digital entertainment age, and we have seen that migrate from large boxes in arcades to the full application of gaming engines into interactive theme park amusement, what I would call immersive attractions. With the latest phase of virtual reality, for me, the third phase of application, we saw arcade machines being able to employ the latest virtual reality technology. And from there, we have seen multiple applications of the technology, from free roaming, arena scale, and now beyond the head-mounted display, beyond the augmented reality system, to mixed reality. But I will go into a little bit more detail regarding that later on during the presentation. I keep on using the phrase digital into physical in a lot of my writing, and I feel very strongly that we are seeing a migration in the out-of-home entertainment of being able to take the best of interactive, immersive gamification, the game experience, and applying it into a physical space, into a location-based entertainment locale. And we've kind of seen a backwards and forwards in the sector of the application of virtual reality and augmented reality and mixed reality as a medium either to transport people into a consumer environment or opposite, taking the digital experience and transporting that into a real experience. The metaverse is a word that is bandied around by many people, and I'm not going to waste your valuable time trying to explain it, but I'm trying to give you a perspective from my point of view, which is we are here to create immersive entertainment, but within a physical experience for a social audience. And I'll come back to what I mean by social audience later on. We see the current applications in this latest generation of technology broken down into the core aspects of application, the taking of a real world environment and superimposing virtual synthetic imagery on top of it. We have seen the overlaying of digital information onto the world around us, augmented reality. The mixing of a totally virtual environment and placing the user inside that virtual reality, and then the combining of all of these into some fantastic cocktail of experiences, which is defined by mixed reality, but is the umbrella term of XR, cross reality, extended reality, in some cases extreme reality. And you'll understand a little bit more of how much this is not about the technology, but about the experience that the guest receives from this application. So let us start off with the most easiest of the trends to chart at the moment, and that is the explosion in the out-of-home entertainment sector of virtual reality. Virtual reality from an amusement and out-of-home entertainment application kind of falls into regular trends as we've seen migrate and grow along with the technology. We are now at a stage where a lot of entertainment facility operators are looking at the deployment of tethered VR systems, PC-based, but within a simple non-attendant operated platform. And what I mean by that is that many operators are concerned that they do not want to have to pay a large amount of money to have staff maintaining these machines, and they want to have systems that are self-service, self-operation. You pay your money, the headset descends, you put that on, and then you play the game, and then you move on to the next experience. The application of an amusement style of experience within a virtual reality system. And we have seen games like Beat Saber being applied in that, Vader Immortal, Fruit Ninja, many of the popular games that come from the quick and simple casual VR market deployed into kiosk and application systems that can be rolled out across entertainment facilities without too much modification. This technology has also seen the deployment of unattended virtual rides and game experiences. One of the most successful entertainment systems in the amusement sector in VR is that of Virtual Rabbits by our friends at LAI Games. But we also have systems from Triotech and Raw Thrills that employ similar metrics. The individuals sit on a seat, they pull down the tethered head-mounted display, and then they are transported into a virtual ride experience. The motion seats allowing the individuals to experience the physical activity, while using the latest hand tracking technology, the individuals can actually control and take part in the game experience. Not a passive ride VR, but an interactive game. Tethered VR allows high quality, high-end PC VR experiences to be employed within an arena or an area space. And Hologate is one of the leaders in the market of this kind of deployment. The individuals in groups, social groups. No one goes to an amusement entertainment facility on their own unless they're as stupid as me. But this kind of experience allows people to play in teams and in groups within a tethered experience and compete. And these games offer a very high level of engagement within the same metrics, as I said earlier, of a simple to operate facility. And Hologate has moved from their 4-player arena scale system to even now incorporating high fidelity motion simulators, still tethered. This arena scale virtual reality experience has become very popular. There are a number of companies that manufacture their own systems that are deployed across the market. Taking the tethered enclosure approach, we are seeing some manufacturers turning these systems into their own standalone attraction. The arena allows one level of engagement, but the enclosure turns the whole system into its own mini attraction that can be separately priced and ticketed for the operator for the facility. Their own theatre, as it were. And companies like Vertrix, using their famous omnidirectional treadmill, have created their own experience, where our friends at Major Mojo have created their own hyperdeck system. 4 players standing on a motion-based system with tethered headset and an interactive system to shoot or take part in the game experience, while at the same time receiving 4D physical effects, wind, heat, olfactory. It is that creation of a unique experience with the virtual reality that transports it far beyond what can be achieved with a consumer system. In our sector, we like to use the phrase unachievable at home. If you can do this kind of experience on a home system, then you're going to stay at home and do it. We're here to offer an extreme experience, an experience that people will come back again and again to play. And it is the creation of attractions and unique experiences that has seen virtual reality applied to next generation technologies as well as traditional technologies. And here we see our friends at Spree Interactive, who've created a bumper car virtual reality experience where, by putting on the head-mounted display, you are transported to a unique virtual game experience where you can compete with other players within that environment. Again, a system that is standardized, a traditional proven entertainment format, but given that digital boost, given that gamification, given that immersive level of entertainment. And it is not just virtual reality that is being used in this kind of approach, as I'll touch upon in a couple of minutes. One of those trends that is now at the pinnacle of interest in the out-of-home entertainment sector is free roaming. The ability for individuals not to be tethered to a framework to be able to have high fidelity VR, but to be able to move freely within a virtual environment with other players. And we have seen this achieved through a number of companies in the sector, the market leader being our friends at Zero Latency, who was one of the pioneers in this application. But we have seen other entrants who have developed their own location-based entertainment facilities based on this approach. Dreamscape and Sandbox VR have their own facilities in the market where individuals pay to then be immersed within these free roaming experiences, many of which utilize famous intellectual properties from the movie sector. Likewise, Zero Latency has also been utilizing IP from the video game sector, working with our friends at Ubisoft, who you may also know did the Rabbids game experience property. So you're seeing this technology not only being used as an entertainment medium, but also as a marketing and promotional medium. And if you're a facility that doesn't have the space to dedicate to having its own facility installation, then there is now the latest generation of systems which turn up in a shipping container and can be dropped in the parking lot of a location and then becomes a secondary or tertiary revenue generator for a facility. A foot in the door to be able to have a high-level, high-fidelity, immersive experience that crosses the lanes between an escape room and a free-roaming game experience. With the launch of standalone VR using mobile processors, we have seen some companies offer a cost-effective solution for those that want to have a free-roaming game in their facilities but do not have the capability to dedicate their sites to high-fidelity PC-based systems. And one of the aspects about the standalone systems is that they can still offer quite a high level of engagement. The Pico headset allows many companies to have a free-roaming multiplayer game experience without the need for backpack and complicated 4D theatre enclosures. Again, in our sector, we have a multitude of different types of entertainment facilities, and they have limited budgets. So we cut our cloth to suit the pockets of many of the operators, be that high fidelity or standalone application. And now, within the last few months, we have seen the next progression, the next application of the latest technology into location-based entertainment. We have now seen operations and facilities deploying VR streaming, a very high performance, high fidelity PC system able to talk to multiple headsets through a 5G wireless capability. Still at its infancy, the first facilities now are moving across to adopt this technology, and both Dreamscape and Zero Latency are some of the first to actually roll out facilities that have ditched their PC backpacks and gone straight for a high fidelity streamed experience. It is not the mobile processor of a standalone headset. It is now a much higher level performance and immersive engagement. And again, it's the type of technology that can only be fielded using location-based entertainment application. I've talked about VR, and that application is very important to our market. But the next generation, obviously, for us is looking towards new forms of application of immersive entertainment and mixed reality, augmented reality. Those areas of development have been proven very interesting to our sector. One of those success stories is Heido, a Japanese company that has created a player versus player active entertainment experience using augmented reality headsets to give the game score, but also to represent the elements of the game experience, the launching of lightning bolts and the ability to raise shields, while taking part in a very highly active entertainment experience that has reached eSports levels of popularity. And I'll touch upon eSports a little further on into this presentation. Augmented reality also allows the physical and the digital to collide. And we have seen experiences that place the guests in a physical environment, but then superimposes augmented reality elements on top of this. The Secret Garden, as well as some other artainment. What I mean by artainment is galleries or art installations that utilize the latest technology, have proven very popular in the market, offering a new level of engagement to an audience very interested in this kind of approach. Not everything regarding augmented reality and mixed reality has to be head-mounted display based. That is important for an industry that has to be mindful that not everybody wants to put something on their heads, not always wanting to put on a PC backpack or put on special gloves. The ability to use projection mapping and to superimpose the digital environment onto the real world has proven very popular. We've seen quite a few bowling alleys be the first to employ augmented reality, mixed reality style entertainment systems on top of their existing bowling experiences. The ball tracked as it moves through the lane, gamification. A lot of these elements are proving very compelling to an audience that doesn't want to be wrapped up in the traditional approach to the bowling experience. They want to have a more social game style experience. And we're now moving into the next generation. The latest 4K and 8K projectors allow us to really push the boundaries of an immersive experience. And if you have go-karts, why worry about having to drive around a physical circuit? Why not create a digital circuit? Why not create your own physical version of Mario Kart through digital projection? It is that level of click of a mouse, change the experience, gamification that we're seeing being employed to physical experiences that is driving interest in this market. You have a climbing wall. It's very difficult to generate revenue or to monetize this kind of system. But if you have the ability to turn it into a game using the latest tracked technology and digital projection, suddenly you have a secondary revenue generation stream. You also have gamification, which allows you to have competition to generate repeat visitation. These are the terms that we are using to define the movement forward of the immersive entertainment experience within the location-based entertainment market. The audience has been born in a world where video gaming and gaming in general is commonplace, and now we can apply that level of engagement to their activities. Through computer vision, we're able to place the individual directly into the virtual environment. This is not new technology. We actually saw in the 90s the first computer vision game experiences, but now with the sophistication of the computing power available to us and the latest projection systems, we can create compelling multiplayer experiences that literally place the individual into the game scene. They can see themselves represented, and their body movements and their activities represented by the characters on the screen. This offers a level of engagement that is very interesting to see how much it appeals to both young and old audiences. And I mentioned it previously about mixed reality, where really the cocktail is mixed with all of the aspects of the technology that I've been talking about. This particular example of an attraction in Japan uses 3D projection mapping for the environments during some of the experience. They use augmented reality weapons, and they also use projected mapping for some of the ghosts and enemies or opponents that you meet in the game, creating an experience totally unlike anything that the individual would have experienced at a theme park, let alone in a consumer video game. It offers us a canvas to paint on that is very compelling as a social entertainment experience. People playing together, having fun together, creating scores, and then coming back to have those scores beaten. Not everything has to be a shooting game. Not everything has to be a driving game. Not everything has to be a total game. Immersive entertainment also is now embracing the arts, as I said earlier. Artainment is now being deployed in many cities across the world, allowing the ability to place the individual into the experience, be that a video game or be that a Renaissance painting. The ability to create an immersive environment which people can relax and experience digital art at a brand new level of engagement is a new means to talk to an audience that may have become bored of the traditional stuffy museum and gallery approach to engagement. I've talked a lot about those aspects of the technology, but we also need to touch upon the utilization of this experience. The ability to use projection mapping within an environment means that you don't have to break down the experience and create a new one once the game passes muster, once people become bored of it or are looking for a new thrill. Digital entertainment at the click of a mouse allows us to change the experience from Goofy's paint shooter to Santa Claus's zombie adventure. And it offers an engagement level with multiple different audiences, so we can quickly change from the traditional game experience to a new kind of outreach experience, depending on the audience and depending on the content that we're prepared to operate on our facility machines. Another technology that is now finding a new lease of life is CAVE, Computer Augmented Virtual Environments, a technology that can trace its history back to the early 90s. Again, now with the latest projection technology, we can place the individual into the heart of the digital experience without them needing to have a head-mounted display. And we're seeing this kind of system being deployed in social entertainment venues where individuals get together and play games together replacing the darts, replacing the bowling, replacing certain of the other entertainment aspects, and offering a more digital interactive game experience in a hospitality setting for multiple players. And this kind of approach is being used in active sports, hospitality, entertainment. We have seen companies developing golf systems where individuals enjoy drinks and cocktails and food and take part in games for golf, for baseball, even for cricket. It is that level of engagement that creates a new kind of player space beyond the traditional amusement or FEC perceptions of how interactive entertainment will fit into the social mix. As I mentioned earlier, augmented reality darts, moving away from the score counting and a little bit traditional approach to darts, we can now make this immersive and inclusive for a much wider audience, more of a game than a competition, much more of a fun social environment than a pub or club style staid application. And that even goes for mini golf. The use of projection mapping, the use of gamification, the ability to track the ball as it moves through the holes to add a game level and to raise the immersive quality of the overall experience to appeal to a younger audience, a young adult audience, but also to offer a much more socially inclusive game experience. And competitive socializing is defined by its gamification, social inclusion, and the level of fun that it generates. The quality of these immersive golf systems and the use of the latest technology in tracking as well as digital displays marks out the next generation of systems that we're seeing about to be launched. And when I talk about competition, obviously I have to touch upon eSports. eSports is not something new. Tournament play has been a part of the amusement, if not the bowling industry, since its creation. And we have seen now from Asia the explosion in gamification, tournament play, audience participation, even turning eSports players into athletes. It is that sponsorship, it is that streaming, it is that audience that is driving that. And they have to go to a facility to get the full experience. They may play at home, but the competitions, the championships are taking place at facilities. We're now seeing major sports teams as well as sports operations entering the market. Formula One has just signed a lucrative deal to open up eSports facilities, not just competition sites, but places where people can also play and improve their scores and skill sets. We will see the future eSports athletes honed, created in these facilities. And obviously, we have virtual reality esports generating a large amount of interest. The free roaming, the highly active, the highly competitive nature of the sport is drawing a lot of interest. And I would advise you to watch this part of the sector very closely. But I've taken enough of your time, and I would like to kind of deal with the core takeaway elements from this presentation. Technology for technology's sake is not the answer. We are applying safe, reliable, and simple entertainment applications in this market. They have to generate revenue, and repeat visitation is an important part of that sector. The nice thing about this industry is that we're depending on content. So at the click of a mouse, we can change the experience without having to totally pull down the environment. And so that offers us the opportunity to look towards the consumer games industry as a possible partner in supplying content for these facilities, as you've seen with the license deals. And it is repeat visitation. Individuals aren't just coming and playing once, they're coming back again and again, they're coming to watch their favorite teams play, they're coming to hone their skills, they're coming to have a good time. And that really underlines where we are with this technology. But anyway, I would like to thank once again the community at AWE for the opportunity to speak to you today. I would also like to offer the opportunity, if anyone has any questions regarding the industry or any of the information that I've shared on this presentation, if they reach out to me, my details are available. And once again, thank you for your time.
Sustainability has been my passion for years. I'm a sustainability